Kratos, god of war. Kratos is a former mortal who becomes a god, but is ultimately betrayed by the gods he once served. He is driven by anger and revenge after being manipulated into killing his own family, and his journey focuses on his struggle with violence and redemption. Despite his violent nature, Kratos tries to protect his son, Atreus, and seeks to break the cycle of rage that has defined his life. Kratos embodies the dark hero archetype through his moral ambiguity. His actions, driven by revenge and violence, often lead to destruction. However, his desire to break free from his violent past and protect his son shows that he is more than just a brute force. He wants to evolve beyond his anger and mistakes. His methods are brutal, often leading to bloodshed, and his motivations are shaped by the betrayal of the gods. Yet Kratos struggles with his past and desires to break free from it, especially for his son's sake, revealing the complexity that makes him a compelling dark hero. Vash the Stampede. Trigun. Vash the Stampede is a pacifist gunslinger who, despite his violent reputation, refuses to kill. Known as the humanoid typhoon, he brings destruction wherever he goes. Yet he works to save lives rather than take them. Vash's backstory involves a tragic past, where he opposed his brother Knives, who wanted to destroy humanity. Vash's refusal to kill sets him apart as a hero, despite the destruction surrounding him. His journey is defined by his commitment to peace, even in the face of overwhelming violence. His internal struggle with his ideals versus the harsh realities around him makes him a dark hero. He's driven by pain and loss, but continues to protect others despite the personal cost. Vash chooses to save lives even when it costs him, and his traumatic experiences shape his actions and beliefs. He constantly struggles to maintain his principles in a chaotic world, embodying the tension between idealism and reality that defines many dark heroes. Trevor Philips. Grand Theft Auto V. Trevor Philips is a psychotic criminal with a violent temper, but he is also loyal and fiercely protective of his friends. Trevor was abandoned by his family, and his violent actions stem from deep emotional pain. He operates without a moral code, but has his own twisted sense of loyalty, making him an unpredictable and dangerous figure. His actions are chaotic and destructive, but his loyalty and deep emotional struggles add complexity to his character. His unpredictability and violent tendencies reflect the darkness within him, yet his loyalty to his friends shows a sense of honor, making him a dark hero. Trevor's actions are driven by impulse and emotion, and he often uses brute force to solve problems. Despite his chaotic nature, Trevor is loyal to those who earn his trust, showcasing how even the most violent characters can possess redeeming qualities that make them more than simple villains. Dexter Morgan. Dexter Morgan is a forensic expert who moonlights as a vigilante serial killer. His goal is to rid the world of criminals who have escaped justice. Dexter follows a strict code, taught to him by his adoptive father to only kill those who deserve it. His struggle with his dark urges is at the core of his character. Dexter's darkness is rooted in his urge to kill, but he channels this darkness by targeting criminals. His moral code, the Code of Harry, allows him to act as a vigilante. Dexter's internal conflict between his need to kill and his desire to fit into society makes him a complex, dark hero. He seeks justice through murder, targeting only those who deserve it, while grappling with his need for violence and trying to live a normal life. Dexter's actions are guided by the rules set by his father, illustrating how dark heroes often create systems to control their darker impulses, while still acting outside traditional moral boundaries. John Constantine. John Constantine is a cynical and troubled warlock who battles demons and supernatural forces. His actions are often motivated by guilt and self-preservation. Constantine is a master manipulator, using his knowledge of the occult to outwit demons and navigate a dangerous world. His dark nature comes from his willingness to make morally questionable decisions for the greater good. His use of manipulation and dark magic makes him morally ambiguous, and his self-destructive tendencies show that he is deeply flawed, yet he continues to fight against dark forces. Constantine's dark sense of humor and sarcastic demeanor hide a deeper guilt, and he uses deception and magic to fight evil, but at great personal cost. His actions are often motivated by his past mistakes and the loss of those close to him, showing how dark heroes are frequently driven by trauma and regret, even as they work to prevent others from suffering similar fates. Elliot Alderson, Mr. Robot. Elliot Alderson is a hacker and a vigilante who seeks to expose corruption in the world. He struggles with social anxiety, dissociative identity disorder, and a fractured sense of reality. Elliot uses his hacking skills to target corrupt corporations, but his methods and motives are often unclear, making him a complex dark hero. His actions are driven by a desire to change the system, but his mental health struggles complicate his journey. He is both a hero and an anti-hero, as he challenges societal norms and exposes hidden truths, often without considering the consequences of his actions. Elliot uses technology to fight against the corrupt system, while his mental health issues add complexity to his motivations. He seeks to disrupt the status quo and bring justice to those who have been oppressed, demonstrating how dark heroes often work to change flawed systems from within, using methods that blur moral lines while pursuing what they believe is right. Rust Cohle, true detective. Rust Cohle is a detective whose nihilistic worldview shapes his approach to solving crimes. He believes that life is meaningless but continues to search for truth in a world he sees as full of darkness and depravity. Rust's investigative methods are unconventional, using philosophical insight to solve cases. His darkness comes from his bleak view of life and his obsession with understanding the evil in the world. Despite his nihilism, he continues to fight for justice, showing that even in a meaningless world, a person can still act for a greater purpose. Rust's outlook on life is dark, but he still seeks justice, and his investigative methods are deeply involved, often bordering on obsession. His philosophical insights drive his investigations and actions, highlighting how dark heroes may reject conventional optimism while still fighting for what's right, creating meaning through their actions even when they reject the idea that life has inherent meaning. Lisbeth Salander, the girl with the dragon tattoo. Lisbeth Salander is a hacker and vigilante who seeks justice on her own terms. Her troubled past and abuse at the hands of others shape her into a complex figure who uses her intelligence to expose the truth. Lisbeth operates outside the law, taking matters into her own hands when the system fails her. Her actions are driven by a need to seek justice for herself and others. Her use of hacking and her willingness to break laws to punish the powerful make her a dark hero. She operates with her own moral code, doing what she believes is right, even if it's unconventional or illegal. Lisbeth seeks justice on her own terms, often outside the law, using her hacking skills and sharp mind to become a formidable opponent to corrupt systems and abusive individuals. She operates with her own sense of right and wrong, separate from the law, exemplifying how dark heroes often emerge from trauma to create their own justice systems when conventional ones have failed them. Cohle MacGrath, infamous. Cohle MacGrath is a former bike messenger who gains electrical powers after surviving an explosion caused by the ray sphere. When following the evil karma path, Cohle embraces his destructive abilities and uses them for personal gain rather than helping others. His journey is marked by selfish choices and a growing disregard for human life as he accumulates power. Despite his villainous actions, Cohle maintains complex relationships, particularly with his friend Zeke and love interest Trish, adding depth to his character. Cohle embodies the dark hero archetype through his moral degradation. Initially an ordinary man, his corruption stems from the intoxication of power and the temptation to use it selfishly. His electrical abilities allow him to drain life from others, emphasizing his parasitic relationship with humanity. Cole's motivations shift from survival to domination, yet traces of his humanity remain in his conflicted relationships. His methods grow increasingly brutal as he prioritizes power over people. Cohle struggles with the consequences of his choices, especially when they harm those close to him, showcasing how even the darkest heroes retain elements of internal conflict that make them more than simple villains.
Subscribe for more interesting stuff. Tell us your experience in the comments.